to share something. Lately, I've been talking about shadow work, and I've been talking about my whole platform, about this whole mindset makeover. And when I tell you, oh my God, I've just been getting so many downloads about this whole topic and coming to a new understanding of embracing all of who I am. And so when I talk about shadow work, it's all about embracing those parts of ourselves that we don't like to talk about. We don't like to talk about the hidden parts of us that's just not perfect, right? And so we don't want people to know about those. So then we suppress a lot of our emotions. We suppress who we really are because whether you have good traits, bad traits, doesn't matter. It's all a part of who you are. So anyway, recently I was thinking about this shadow work, and one of my favorite passages in the Bible is found in Mark, where it talks about chapter 11, where it talks about, it says, if you say to this mountain, and be thy removed, and doubt not that you shall have whatever it is you say. So that's my favorite scripture. So I always ask, so what are you saying? And so as I'm meditating on this passage that I've read 100,000 trillion times, I heard it in the spirit. And what if that mountain is you? Think about that. We are always looking outside of ourselves as if the mountains in our lives is something that is outside of ourselves. But the reality is, everything that we face in life, we have a part in it. And so we have to start doing the inner work to find out, how did I create this? Or why did I think this way? And so as I was meditating on this, I got 5 downloads. So really quick, I'm not going to stay on here long. I just want to share 5 things that you must do when you really come to that realization to accept that you are the mountain in your life. That thing that's stopping you from having whatever it is you desire, what you want to be your authentic self, it is you. Meaning you cannot control what any other person say or do. You can't do it, but you can control how you respond to it. And so when life begins to life and things are happening, consider what you're thinking, consider what you're feeling, and then ask yourself, why? Why am I thinking this way? Why am I feeling this way? When I tell you, this has been the most liberating thing I have ever done for myself. And I'm able to now, I still fall short sometimes, but now I'm able to recognize, oh, something is showing up that I don't like the way it feels in real time. And so it's 5 things that you have to do when you start to feeling anything that you don't like the way it feels. If your energy is off, 5 things you need to do. Number one, you have to face it. You have to acknowledge, ooh, I'm not liking the way this feels. Something is off here. And then that means that you have to really take ownership of what it is that you're feeling. Identify, acknowledge that it's something that is off in your emotions, something is off in your thinking, something is off in your feelings. You're feeling negative, you're feeling whatever it is you're feeling. You have to face that and own that. And then it's 2 scriptures that Psalm says, I pray sometimes, Lord, search me and know my thought. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there's any wicked way in me, and lead me to the way of everlasting. Lord, why am I feeling like this? Why am I thinking like this? And then that's what you have to do. And then after you face it, you have to embrace it. You have to own it. Man, this is me. This is why, this is my feeling. I am feeling angry. I am feeling whatever it is. Embrace it and don't judge it. It's okay. It's natural to feel the way that you feel. So when you embrace this shadow without the judgment, without compassion, because it's coming from somewhere. And then number 3, you have to trace it. Where is it coming from? And so once you start to trace this shadow, oh my God, I'm gonna give you the 5 points. Then I'm gonna tell you how I experienced it once I got these 5 points. So after you trace it, then you have to erase it. That means, I understand the seed of this. Let me just dig this up. Let me deal with this, because now I understand why I feel the way I feel when this thing, whatever triggered you, happens. This is why I feel like that. And so then the last one is, then you have to replace it. And so recently I was having a conversation with a couple of women who were just talking, and someone said, girl, you too deep. And that's what she said. But what I actually heard was, you different. I heard, don't nobody think like that, even though that's not what she said. But my subconscious mind interpreted that way. And so as soon as I realized that my subconscious mind was thinking something that was not said, I said, oh, that's a shadow. So I had to really chase that shadow. I had to face it. I had to embrace it. That thought is coming from somewhere. And then I have to chase it. What was it? Trace it. So where is it coming from? So I didn't know. I just kept thinking. So I just started praying and just like, okay, God, show me this, what this is. And so then I had a memory that came up from when I was in kindergarten or first grade. I can't remember which one, but I was young. I was just started school, and whatever grade you're learning to write. And I was learning to write. And in this class, I was the only person in class that was left-handed. And my teacher didn't want me to be left-handed. So she would encourage me to try to write with my right hand because there was actually some things that I could do with my right hand that I couldn't do with my left hand. But writing was left-handed. So every time she walked by and caught me writing with my left hand, I would get paddled. With her, she would hit me with her paddle, and I would be in trouble. And so now I traced it. And so now I have to erase it because when she hit me, I began to think that there was something wrong with me, that I was different from everybody else. And I can imagine, I don't know if this really happened because I was much younger. But in my mind today, I would imagine that when I got paddled, the rest of the class looked at me and I felt strange. I felt different because when I got that memory, that's actually how I felt. So now I have to erase that. So what I did to erase that is I went and talked to my little 5, 6 year old self. And I told my 5 and 6 year old self, girl, ain't nothing wrong with you. You are different. Yeah, you set apart. You got something the rest of them don't have. You're able to write with your left hand. And so I just encouraged myself and I began to embrace all the things that are about me that may be different. And guess what? I'm not by myself. So then I had to replace it. And I started encouraging myself, not just in my ability to write with my left hand, but everything about me that people have labeled as different. And I'm so grateful to be different. So I embrace that shadow by taking those 5 steps to remove that mountain, that shadow out of my life. I just wanted to share that with y'all today because it has really been blessing me because I am really getting to that point where I am discovering all of those things that has been enlarged in my subconscious mind that caused me to shrink and draw back and prevents me from living my true life. I am who I am. And you know what? I am really learning to love that girl who looks back at me in the mirror. I hope that this has helped you. Go trace your shadows. You can reach me at coachpbj.com. Give me a call, DM me, message me if this message have helped you. And you too want to begin to chase your shadows to find out those things that's keeping you from reaching your true potential, being your authentic self, and living the life that you love, long to live, and deserve. All that outside noise that people have been telling you that makes you feel like you're not enough. Man, let's do this. Let's take this journey together. This has been an amazing journey for me, and I would love to share these tips, these practical tips with you. We're going to dig more into the shadow work. It has been life changing. So anyway, hope you have liked it. Y'all to log off. It's time for me to go to another meeting. Make it a great day. I am Coach PBJ.